this morning. We welcome Susan Williams of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Middle of the week.
It is over the hump. Kind of. A little bit later.
Later today. I don't know. Today's hump seems to be pretty big. Get through it. So moving, events, a lot going on.
There is. We have a lot going on at the Chamber. Like Krista, in this season of getting committees together and trying to schedule a lot of meetings as we finished out our first quarter and go into same thing, an event season. And we're doing that while, like you said, cleaning out our office. It's an exciting time for us as we prepare for our move. We'll be heading just over the creek. Just a nice walk across the bridge. And so we're
I picture you guys actually carrying things across the bridge.
I picture us doing that as well. I would imagine that will happen. That's the easiest way to get over there. But we went over last night, did a little measuring to make sure our things will fit, and we're very excited about the move to 24 Seneca Street. I say that with a little apprehension, 24 Seneca Street, because our front door is on a plaza. People may struggle a little bit to find us, but we are conveniently located between Manpower and Liberty Tax Services, so we're in the back of the building, but we'll have a couple parking spaces there for people to pull in.
Well, maybe you can borrow that advertising aid from the folks down the street at Liberty Tax Service
there you
to
go.
wave you in.
Yeah, maybe we can give them a sign that says the Chamber's here too. They're good Chamber members. They just might be willing to do that for us.
You're closer to the Spirit store, right?
We are.
So
and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, one of the options was the building right next door, and I said, there's days that might be convenient. But it'll be a great location. A lot of people have commented that we'll be just that much closer to the Park for Oil Heritage Festival. So it will be an interesting year as we settle in and kind of reevaluate what is important to move. Anyone that's been through a move before probably knows that it kind of gives you a chance to look at everything once or twice and say, do I really, really need this? And it's fun. I'm coming across a lot of archival things. It's interesting to read about our history and see what we have there that we want to carry on with us. So
it's tough because you have a situation like Cambridge Springs with the loss of the Riverside Inn. But it makes you stop and say, okay, what do we have in this community? What sort of historic artifacts do we have? And people are proud to display those.
They are, yeah.
How do you protect them?
Yeah, it's an important thing to think about. It's something that I've always been concerned about because I have in my care, things from the Chamber. I haven't talked much about it, but I manage a small cemetery here in the area, like a lot of other volunteers. And I have records there that go back a long time. And when you have things like that sometimes contain important information, but if nothing else, information that's interesting for people to review, how do we keep it safe? And something we'll all keep asking and exploring. In our case, with a move, you're looking at your networks, your computers, and we've been exploring, how we make sure we keep our data safe and where we are and where we'll be and what the best options for those things are, and be a model for our businesses so that whatever we learn, we can share with others. So,
is there a sense of a renewal, of a freshness about the move, though? I mean, you're a new space, you're coming into, the fun, new events. I know it can be a little stressful maybe on your end of things, but, people look forward to these events in the summer. People, put their reunions around some of these events, their, family get-togethers.
I think there is a sense of excitement, particularly in my staff, and, my board is very supportive. We have certainly not had any negative energy from the Chamber membership, so we hope that means that they're just waiting to kind of see how all the details shake out. We all have really loved our location. It's been very convenient for people to stop by, been convenient for us as employees, and of course Jack Roser's been a wonderful landlord, providing us with good space with everything we need and doing so affordably for us. But we understand that Jack is a good businessman and he has things to do, and we really are excited about what's going to happen there at that gateway in Oil City. So we want to be as supportive as we can. knowing that probably we need to take some good pictures and remember the history of that building as we leave. There are a lot of interesting historical pictures, and I'm sure Jack has a lot of those too.
Well, that gateway has a good start with that little park down in the corner.
It does. That's made a really nice entrance into the town, and of course, I think that we'll see a lit bridge here, this year. Lighting the Center Street Bridge will just enhance that whole gateway, so it's exciting.
Which is better than seeing a lit mark on a Friday night
There
walking
you
across
go.
that thing, stumbling through. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Right.
So, Susan, summertime, Krista mentioned her events, and it's like, okay, yeah, we've had these meetings, but now it's like, okay, maybe we need to become a little more serious in our conversations.
Sure. Well, we're still a little ways out on a couple of our things. It still means that people should pay attention.
I just heard somebody the other day say, hey, Oil Heritage Festival. I can't remember who I was talking to. They were making plans already.
Fourth weekend of July. And this year, we're actually, as a chamber, we're kicking things off a little bit early, in that we're going to be having our Bike and Brew on the Saturday that kicks off Oil Heritage Festival, the same Saturday same weekend when we have the softball tournament going on in Oil City. So that will be a lot of fun to kind of usher in the week of activities. We are right now, so kind of last sponsorship opportunities are being secured, because we want to be able to go to our print materials. If you're one of the community members that would like to include an event within our promotion, we need to hear from you now. By the end of the month, we'll be wrapping that up and sending that off to the printer. Speaking of printer, I want to mention that our members just are receiving their membership directories. I think I dropped yours off today, Luke. That's one of those things we don't think of as an event, but in the chamber office, that is an event.
Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. There's a lot of work goes into that.
It is. As we, confirm that our member information is good and print a directory that we send out to all of our members, deliver when we can, and let them know who are the members of the chamber, who should they be supporting and calling as part of their network. The way Krista talked about our chamber network, within our chambers, we encourage our members to do that. Call the experts in your network. So we have that done. The golf outing, we have a few reservations, but I know how golfers are. They're waiting to see what the weather is going to be like and how things are going to shake out. But we'd really like to have, our whole sponsors lined up, our major sponsors, and our teams, most importantly, that are going to join us on June 22nd for a golf outing at Venango Golf Club. So that'll be fun.
I'm on the chamber site, venangochamber.org. Some weekend events. You have the Tipsy Chef Cash Mob. Yeah,
there are a number of community events that we'll participate in that we'd encourage others to. That is this weekend, I believe, at 11 o'clock. In the morning on Saturday, and some people are familiar with the cash mob. What we do is ask you to put at least $20 in your pocket and come on over, and we'll show that business that we support local business. So that is an event sponsored by the Oil City Main Street and Take Pride. But I'll be downtown, spending some time, and then I know I'm going to move my way down to Franklin to Maymart. Maymart's going on. I think that is kind of hosted by City of Franklin and the Franklin Gardeners Club. That's a great event. It gives you a chance to get your plants and stuff and get ready. I know there's good theater and plays going on over the weekend. We're excited about that. And on into the future, one of the things that I'm busy working with the committee on is the Oil Region Cycling Classic. That's in June, same weekend that Franklin will be holding its Blues and Barbecue. So that Oil Region Cycling Classic is a big event, 3-day event. They have space for 200 riders. So if you haven't registered for that, we can get you some information at the chamber about that event.
It is 8:21. This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television, Armstrong, in the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network.
Great. Now you're looking at my calendar. I'm not. What else do you see out there?
No, there's a lot of great things coming up. You have, in fact, today at 5, you have the Oil Heritage Festival Bike and Brew meeting.
We do. Yeah. If anyone's interested in being involved in the committee work on that, we have a meeting. Our Flex group kind of is taking the lead, but there will be lots of opportunities for volunteers in the preparation and even the day of. We often come across people that say, hey, I'm not a drinker. I don't think I'm going to come to the Brew Fest. Well, we could use you because we'll need some people that aren't drinking beer there that day.
It's hard when somebody's a fan of the local brews and they're volunteering at an event and they see everybody else. Boy, that looks good. That looks good.
I mean, there are some opportunities because there are two settings. There's opportunities to volunteer for one and participate in the other, and we'll make that extra easy for you to do if you've worked some volunteer time. But also particularly on the second shift, we don't want those who have participated in the first shift. So if you're willing to just kind of be there, we'll need some extra bodies since we'll be in Justice Park this year. We didn't have any problems with, loitering or people trying to sneak in last year. I'm sure we will not this year. But a good measure is just to have some people kind of hanging out.
I think I know that's a conversation that's happened here. It's like, if you go up to Erie on a Friday night in the summer and you're going down State Street, I mean, it is thousands of motorcycles and people going from place to place with their beverages, and it's fine. They don't have issues up there.
Yeah, well, I would say, as looking from the outside in, I bet you if you talk to people up there, they would tell you it's not that they don't have any issues.
Right.
They manage their issues, and that's always the concern, is when you step into anything where you're involving the public like this, do we have those people in the community that are willing to take on that responsibility of managing those issues? And that includes, certainly your local police department, but also volunteer organizations that have some liability in the issue. So we're stepping into that a bit and saying we think we can do it safely, and if we can show our our leaders in the community that we can be responsible and that there are minimal problems, I think we'll see that there will be more opportunity to include responsible drinking on our public streets, but we have to show that we can, because we've had some experiences where that has not been the case.
Tomorrow, Flex Trivia and Taco Night.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. There's a couple things going on that I don't think are in conflict, but are interesting, maybe a little bit different. So we've got that going on at Circa's Tavern, which is also hosting a chamber mixer on the 17th. So our members can come out, and if anyone has not been to Circa's Tavern, which is kind of up around Emerald Street on the north side of Oil City. It is a great old bar that's been there for a long, long time and has now gone down a couple generations.
Wow.
They have great food. They're going to have a trivia night, and our young professionals are going up to participate. I'm sure anyone is welcome. That is an open event for them. I will be participating in the National Day of Prayer out at the Cranberry Mall. So that service begins at 7, and I'll be there to make sure that our businesses are included in in our kind of call out to be blessed in this season.
Absolutely. There's so much
a lot
going on. Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
And
hard to cover it all.
Even you look at Maine. We're talking about these summer events, and everybody gets excited for those things. But there's so much that happens throughout the year. For somebody who says, "Oh, there's nothing going on," all they have to do is go to your website and look.
That's right. And let me remind people, if you go to the calendar, which it may be that even some of the things I mentioned today are not on that calendar. We believe it is the responsibility of the host to put things on our calendar. It's really easy to do. There's a little submit your event button right below the calendar. If you add things to our calendar, that way you can make sure all the information is as accurate as can be. There's a chance there to upload a JPEG, which could be, maybe a registration form to your event or a flyer for someone to hang. So you can just upload that. All of the information, the contact information. Our fear is if we're out there populating that calendar with your events, we could get something wrong. And also, we want to make really sure that if a change goes on, you're aware that event sits there and that you'll need to update us, if weather makes a change or if you cancel an event. So please get familiar with venangoplays.org. It's real easy to get to. That's the domain that will get you right to the calendar, venangoplays.org.
It's got to be one of the best event calendars I've seen here since I've moved back in the area.
Well, I can promise you that we put tremendous resources into developing that calendar, making sure that mechanically it works well. Every Wednesday morning here within the next hour or so, we'll be shooting out an email to over 800 people that subscribe. You too can subscribe to the calendar. So if you're saying, where do I get all of the information about what's going on in the region, just go to venangoplays.org and scroll down, and there's an opportunity down there to add your name to the subscriber list. We'll make sure you get that email sent out to you every Wednesday, and you'll get what's coming up in the next week, and then a link to the full calendar. And I would suggest that we really want that calendar to be heavy with great things to do. We would prefer not to have it just, have it advertising and yard sales and those kind of things. But those events
Let me take that down. Hold on.
yeah, those events that a visitor is likely to, travel into the region for, or that have, are unique one or series of events. Obviously, sometimes plays play over a couple days, or recitals. Get them on there so that everybody knows what's going on, knows exactly who to contact. There's a place for you to link back to your own website or information,
Oh, wow.
Facebook page. Our goal really is to make that the go-to calendar for people from within the region and people visiting the region, so that they know what is there to do.
It
And
really is a good calendar.
Yeah.
I've utilized it.
thank you.
I went ahead to June, and it's like, oh yeah, Wildcatter Day is coming up that first weekend in June.
Yeah.
You get out with something more Saturdays. Chicks in the Sticks.
Yep. The other value that the calendar can bring, if people utilize it, is an opportunity for you to see what else is going on when you're planning your event. We get a lot of
Yes.
calls from people saying, we're thinking of planning an event, or we're thinking of planning our wedding, and we need to know what's going on in the region. Is there a place I can go? And there was never a common place. We would like this calendar to be that common place, but we can only do that if people add their events to the calendar. We simply cannot. Each Friday I pull the good times from the newspaper and think, oh, if only I could get all of these events in the calendar. I simply don't have time to do that, nor do my staff. And occasionally we find that an ad that's out there doesn't have all of the complete information. So by you putting your events on that calendar, it's most likely to be accurate and to have all of the information. If you put something on the calendar and then realize, ooh, something wasn't quite right, you can easily just link back to us and we'll make that correction for you. So,
Well, that's a great point, and especially with all these great events happening this summer, and you're trying to get your family reunion planned, or you're planning a wedding or an event. Yeah, that's a great resource to have. Go there.
venangoplays.org. That's where it's at.
Have you done that? All right, we'll get on them in a little
Yep,
bit.
all the community playhouse stuff. We need it all out there.
He's taking notes over there.
He
Yeah,
better
we got
be. He
this.
better be.
Well, Susan, it's great to see you this morning. And again, there's a lot going on. And again, for people who are like, I don't know, is there something going on? How do I get involved? What can they do? Can they call you?
Well, they certainly can. Yes, they can call us at the chamber at Venango.
Can they help you move?
Yep. They can help us move. Yes, it sounds like a lot of people would love to help us. So we'll try to pick a day or two where we move the big stuff, and put some word out. And anyone that wants to throw their jeans on and bring their pickup truck or whatever we need, I'm sure some more hands make light work. So they can give us a call at 814-676-8521. We are currently located at 41 Main Street in Oil City, and of course, visit us online at venangochamber.org.
When do you think you'll be in the new office space?
Well, we would like to be operational June 1st. That said, I have some important personal things going on over the holiday weekend, so that means that we'd like to be, pretty much moved out of our office, our mission critical things, before the holiday weekend. So
All right.
that's what
Well, best
we're
luck
aiming
with
at.
everything. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mark, I think we should help them out because we may need help
Yeah.
ourselves.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, Susan, great to see you.
Thank you.
Final Look at News is coming up next. And speaking of those community plays, we're going to learn about one coming up. This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television, Armstrong, and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network.